to make your V6 or 4-cylinder car faster than a V8. And this is a special one because I'm gonna teach you how to make that even faster than a supercharged V8 and a specialty V8 like a Shelby GT350. So let's get right to it. A couple months ago, I did a TikTok giving away Boost, and Will, which goes by Bilko, I'll put his link right here on the screen as well as down in the description, won that TikTok giveaway. And as promised, I'm bringing you guys the content you deserve and I've been waiting for literally months. Honestly, guys, this setup is insane. We're gonna dive right into it, go through the details. It's so simple. Literally 5 things is all you need to be faster than a V8, and you're gonna spend half of the price of a V8. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys exactly that. But before we get into the video, make sure to go ahead and check out my merch. I will greatly appreciate if you support the channel. This is Miley, my 1200 horsepower Shelby GT500 with a wide body Super Snake Shelby 1000, all the goodies. I also have a 1968 Ford Mustang Fastback doing a full coyote swap. All purchases get your name signed on the hood. So let's get right into it. 5 simple things to make your V6 or 4-cylinder faster. I'm gonna put it right here on the screen. We're gonna go through the full Boost setup, the full engine sub, and everything like that. Next, we're gonna go to the gearing ratio. After the gearing ratio, we're gonna go with the tires. After the tires, we're gonna talk about weight reduction, and finally, the types of races that you'll be calling out to race V8s. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the engine setup. And I wanna go ahead and get something right off my back right away. Stay away from bolt-ons. Honestly, bolt-ons like a cold air intake, a tune, exhaust, underdrive pulleys, intake manifold, throttle body, stay away from those. Trust me, those don't do anything. I literally spent on my 3-valve Mustang, which is a V8, I spent close to about 10 grand to gain 100 horsepower. Stay away from bolt-ons, save up for boost, and that's going to be the main thing of what made Will's V6 Mustang setup absolutely incredible. So let's go ahead and talk about the different types of boost here. We have the supercharger, turbocharger, and nitrous. You want to stay from nitrous. Don't do nitrous unless you're doing some junkyard build, and stay away from turbos. They're too complicated, too aggressive, and too pricey. You want to go ahead and stick with superchargers. But as you guys may know, there's different type of superchargers. There's a root style supercharger and a centrifugal supercharger. Out of those 2 types of superchargers, you want to go with the centrifugal supercharger. Why centrifugal superchargers? Number 1, they're really easy. Number 2, they're not as expensive. Number 3, they're not as harsh. Number 4, the torque is low, saving your internals. And number 5, you just gotta love that big blow off valve sound. This is underneath the hood. We have a ProCharger P1SC supercharger attached to this V6. Centrifugal superchargers are going to be like a ProCharger, Vortec, or Paxton supercharger. A lot of people get ProChargers and mix up with centrifugal superchargers, but ProCharger is just a brand of a centrifugal supercharger. So you could go ahead and pick up yourself a ProCharger for about 5 grand installation. It depends on if you do it yourself. I personally did mine by myself and saved myself lots of money. So that's gonna be the key ingredient to this full setup, is starting off with a centrifugal supercharger like Will has on his 2014 Roush. To go with that supercharger, you need to feed it with the correct fuel, and that's gonna be E85. I know E85 isn't as accessible to everybody, and if that's the case, just run your highest octane like 93 or 91 with an octane booster. That's gonna help out tremendously. As well, of course, you're gonna need a tune for all of this, so make sure you talk to your tuner to go ahead and discuss your fueling needs. Another interesting thing that Will had on his setup was a pedal commander, and a pedal commander is a simple bolt-on. I'll go ahead and link down in the description if you want to read more about it, but essentially that increases the volts of your pedal from 50 volts to about 5,000 volts, which is an insane difference. Will currently had it on his Mustang, and I just wanted to go ahead and throw it into it because that response time off the line makes a world of a difference. And the last engine setup that we have here that I want to go ahead and talk about is his transmission. Automatic transmission is usually going to be the quickest thing. If you have an auto, that would be preferred. Manual transmission, of course, is going to be slower than auto, but if you want the quickest and the most efficient speed, auto's the way to go. Will has a 6R80, which is an insane automatic transmission on the Mustang, and that actually helped him out tremendously racing the Shelby GT350 as well as the supercharged Roush. 1, 2, go! The next thing that we're going to talk about that I think is the most underrated mod ever for slow cars, which I highly recommend this car for any car under 500 horsepower. I personally had on my 2008 Mustang that came stock with 300 horsepower. I boosted up to 500 horsepower, made a world of difference, is a higher gearing ratio in your rear axle. Gears are referred to as ratios, such like 331 gears, which I have in my Shelby GT500. This means that the drive shaft needs to spin 3.31 times in order for your tires to turn once. Higher gears, such as like 410 gears, which Will has equipped on his Mustang, can be referred to as a steeper gear. So with steeper gears, which means higher number of the gear ratio, means that you accelerate a lot quicker. It means that your gears are always shorter too, so keep that in mind. But honestly, higher gears is the way to go because that makes your acceleration so much quicker. This is absolutely gonna kill it in the 60-foot times right off the line.
On the green, I'm ready. This is it. Run it again. One more. Launch control. Bus.
The next thing we're going to talk about is weight reduction. Lose as much weight as you possibly can. Take out the back seats. Will actually took out his back seats as well as his trunk lining and everything in this truck to go as quick as he possibly can. Weight reduction, I actually made a video on this. I lost about 200 pounds taking out the spare tire, running on a half a tank of gas, taking out my passenger seat, taking out literally everything you possibly can. Weight reduction is going to be key to launching and pulling away from any different car. So take all the necessary weight out of your car.
Wow, we got a professional here.
Warming some tires, guys.
How's that feeling?
All right, now let's go ahead and talk about tires. So there's 3 tires that I highly recommend. Toyo R888Rs, Mickey Thompson ET Streets, as well as the Nitto NT05s. I currently have the Toyo R888Rs on my Shelby GT500 that has 1200 horsepower. I absolutely love it. They grip and they go to town. I also love the Mickey Thompson ET Street Rs. It hooks and it books. And my last tire recommendation is going to be the Nitto NT05s. Be careful with those because you do have to warm them up, so you're going to have to do a burnout, and that's going to be one of the key things when racing is that you want to make sure that all these tires are warm. Set at a lower PSI, about 20 PSI is what I usually run it on, and any of those 3 tires is going to send you forward. All right, and the last thing that we're going to go ahead and talk about is the types of races that you're going to have to do, because even though you have a V6 Mustang Pro charged and have the tire set up, do weight reduction, do all this stuff, the types of races are what's really going to make a huge and a world of a difference. So you want to stick with dig races. Never, ever, ever call out a V8 on a roll, which means that you're just rolling usually about 40 miles per hour. Sometimes you could do 20, 60, but never call out a V8 rolling. That is just a disaster. You will lose 10 out of 10 times. Stick with dig races. Dig races is where the money is going to be. If you don't know what a dig race is, basically a dig race refers to a race at a standstill, means that they're not moving at all. You usually go on 3 honks or at a light. It's a race split dead. And the reason why we do this is because it gives our setup the best option to shoot forward with the 410 gears, the weight reduction, the tires, and the full V6 with the boosting setup option. It's going to send you flying. And honestly, you want to stick with dig races about 1/8 of a mile only. We did 1/8 of a mile race usually on all of those races, and that was the money there. So short dig races is where you want to be racing these V8 engines, because the last thing you need is to run a 1/4 mile, because they will eventually catch up. But for the short races here, you're going to put buses on them like Will has done in those past races that you saw. So that's going to be the key here to winning every single race, is starting at a dig, launching it to the best of your ability, and watch that V8 just drop back and back and back. And that's honestly the keys to success here. That's the full setup that we came up here to basically take V8s to Gapplebee's. hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to drop a big thumbs up, as well as comment down below any other tricks, opinions that you may have that could help other people out. Make sure to subscribe down below. I would greatly appreciate that as well. Make sure to check out all the socials. Grab some merch to support the channel. I would greatly appreciate that as well. I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.